This video is a step-by-step process for replacing the door hinge on a Maytag 3000 series washing machine. I ordered a new part. I got the model number from there and just did a quick Google search and found a new hinge for about $60 shipped, and it's already on the way. So I went ahead and started preparing. So the hinge right here, that was mounted right up here, so you can see the spot where that sits. So that was mounted there, but you can see there's this little spot right here. The door had been getting a little bit harder to open and close over the last couple of months, and we weren't really sure why, but now we know. It broke in two places. So it broke right down here, and it eventually broke here, which now we can't have our washing machine sealed as a result. So to take that off, the first thing I did was I just used a little hex head screwdriver, because these are the screws that hold it in. So that took those out pretty easily. There was one here and one here. So those just came out, and then there are notches on the hinge itself that rest inside of these two slots, and I just lifted them and pulled the door away. And that allowed me to get the entire door off. So I'll be getting another one of those in hopefully a few days, but to go ahead and remove it, so the hinge here, the hinge was here. So this has, it has star point screws, I guess, or bolts, star head bolts. So I happen to have a little tool set here that I bought probably at Harbor Freight many years ago that has a bunch of different bits in it, and it has the star bits in there, and I happen to have one that fit the right size. So I was able to take these 4 bolts out from these spots, and then the hinge rests inside of here, and so I ended up having to take these screws out. There are 4 of them on each side, on the top and 4 on the bottom, but I only had to take out 3 of them to where I was able to lift this up enough to pull the hinge out. So I will, once I get the other hinge, I will continue this video and show you how to put it back on, and hopefully everything will be good. All right, I got the replacement hinge in today. Here's the box it came in, and that was inside of another box. So I'll put the part number and where I got it from in the description of the video. But here is the old one that's broken. You can see that from earlier. And here's the new one right here. And at a quick glance, it seems to be a nice match. The weight is roughly the same, although the materials seem slightly different. This one is metal, and it weighs about the same in terms of like how solid it is. So I think that's going to work out just fine. So I'm going to start, I'm going to go ahead and remove these 3 screws here, and I'll slide this new one in. I think that's the way it goes. Nope. It will need to go in like this. Yep, because this part down here is going to hang on the door. So I'll slide that in, and then I'll put all of the screws back in, put these bolts back in that I showed earlier into these 4 spots, and then I'll mount it on to the washing machine. Okay, I got each of the 3 screws on each side put back in, and I got the hinge mounted in. Tighten these 4 bolts up pretty nice and snug. Now I'm going to pick this up and set it in there. See if I can do this with one hand. Maybe not. Okay, so see the little notches there. Notches. I'm gonna set this down for a second. All right, got that in there, set in there. I'm just gonna get the 2 hex head screws and I'll screw those in to this spot and that spot, and then it should be secure enough to test opening and closing it. All right, got those screws nice and snug in there. The door closes much more nicely than it did before, and that felt the way it should. So I think we've got some success here. I'll run a load when I have a chance, and we'll make sure there's no leaks. The seal is still in good shape though, so that should be good. That's it. Thanks a lot.